Okay, we're on movement number 2 for our triceps. We just got done with decline close grip bench presses, getting the big heavy compound movement out of the way to build the triceps. Our mid-range stress. Now we're going to go into a little stress here. Get a little what's called myotatic reflex or stretch reflex out of the movement. I can use 2 options here myself, and there's a limiting factor here that I'll tell you in a second. I can do one arm overhead extensions, or I can do an overhead cable extension with a rope attachment in a lunge position. If my shoulders could handle it, I would do maybe a one-arm dumbbell where you're cupping a dumbbell up and overhead, or even with a cambered bar and easy curl bars, which you all should know. Something that looks like this, okay? I would option for that possibly to go up and overhead with. Those stresses are a little too much for my rotator cuff at this point in my training. So I'm going to do a one-arm dumbbell version, which I seem to have no problem with. What we're looking for is a deep stretch. The bottom 2/3 of an overhead tricep extension is imperative. You want that quick twitch out of the bottom to fire those muscle fibers as hard as possible. I'm not going to demonstrate my style of sets and reps that I use on this because it would make this video way too long. But what I do on an overhead extension for this phase of my training is something that's stolen from the Bulgarians a little bit. If you've ever read any of John Benson's books, specifically the 7-minute workout, or even Jonathan Lawson and Steve Holman of Ironman and POF fame, incorporate this style now with a 4x10 movement. What it is creating a little more density and a time factor. It's almost like an extended rep, extended set, rest pause type of training. What I'm going to do is I'll do 4 sets of 8 per arm, but with minimal rest between each set. So I may not be tapping out at 8 reps with the weight that I choose on the first movement, but because of the shortened rest period in between each set, by the time I get to that last set, I'm barely reaching 8, if reaching 8 at all. Alright, this is a little easier on the joints for me. It creates a little more workout density, so it's a different stress on the muscle fiber than just going, pure heavy weight like we did on the close grip bench press. Alright, so let me demonstrate the close grip, the overhead tricep extension. This is a one-arm dumbbell version. What you're going to see is basically my acclimation set right now, because after this, then I'll do my 4x8 in Bulgarian style. Alright, so what I do is I like to grip the dumbbell towards the thumb side of the dumbbell, so there's a little more weight displaced away from the pinky. Alright, so there's a little more stress up and above as I'm driving weight actually through the ceiling. So what we want is our upper arm as close to the head as possible. Mine's going to flare out a little bit just because of my flexibility, but from the elbow to the shoulder remains pretty much stationary. And we're going to get a deep stretch behind the head and up. What you want is that forearm, when it comes down, to at least reach parallel to the floor, if not deeper. So get a nice deep stretch, quick twitch out of the bottom, throwing it up and over. Of course, we work both sides. Now when I do the Bulgarian style of minimal rests, I'm basically going non-stop. I'll do the 8 on this arm, I'll go to this arm and do my 8, and then switch back to this and just keep going non-stop till I get 4 sets on each arm. The idea as far as progression is concerned is I'll tally up my total reps per arm for all 4 sets, and then next time I come in I'll try to beat that total number. Deep stretch, up. Okay. There you got the acclimation set. Next I'm going to take it up a little bit and I'll actually do my work sets, but you got the proper form as far as overhead extension. So right now what we've accomplished in our tricep workout is the mid-range stress we did back there with a decline close grip bench press. We got our stretch reflex movement here, which is our overhead tricep extension. Pick whatever version you like, and then I'll see you on our contraction movement next. Alright? About 5 minutes.